Hi everyone, you are welcome back to another interesting question. We are asked to calculate the area of this triangle PQR. We have the length of this side to be 8 root 2 units. We can see this is a right angle. Here they said line RT is 6 root 2 units. That is, this line RT here is 6 root 2 units in length. This figure PQT is a quadrant. So how can we solve this? How can we calculate the area of this triangle? Well, it is simple. Starting from this quadrant PQT, we know a quadrant is a sector which is enclosed by two radii and an arc. That is, this side PQ and this side PT are radii. Assume their lengths to be R. Now here, since this line RT and this line RS are congruent, and we have this to be 6 root 2 units in length, definitely this must also be 6 root 2 units in length. Now we draw a line that connects this point and this point. Look at this triangle RST. Because of this angle here, it is a right angle triangle. But the fact that this side and this side are congruent tells that it is an isosceles right angle triangle. The angles of an isosceles right angle triangle are 90 degrees, 45 degrees, and 45 degrees. So since this is 90 degrees, this and this must be 45 degrees each. Now still on this triangle, since it is a right angle triangle, we can use the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem states that the square of the length of the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the length of the two other sides. The hypotenuse is the side facing the right angle, which is this. If we assume its length to be x, the square of x will be equal to the sum of the squares of this 6 root 2 and this 6 root 2. So x squared equal to 6 root 2 all squared plus 6 root 2 all squared. 6 root 2 all squared is 6 squared times root 2 squared. 6 squared is 36 and root 2 squared is 2. 36 times 2 is 72. 72 plus 72 is 144. So x squared equal to 144. Take the square root of both sides. Here square root of x squared is x, while here square root of 144 is 12. So x equal to 12. That is, the length of this side ST is 12 units in length. Now since this is a right angle, if we assume a circle around this point R, this S and this T, this right angle is subtended by this side here. Now from the circle theory, we know the only chord in a circle which subtends a right angle to the circumference is its diameter. So this line ST is the diameter of the small circle. We look at this quadrant. We know a quadrant is 1/4 a circle. We draw out the remaining 3/4 of the circle. Now we see this small circle and this big circle meet at 2 points. That is this point S and this T. From the circle theory, there is a rule that when two circles meet at 2 points, their centers lie on the perpendicular bisector of the common chord. So here we see there is the center of the big circle, and as for this circle, since this is its diameter, the midpoint of the diameter will be its center. From this rule here, this common chord is referring to the chord that is connecting the two intersecting points, which is this same diameter. So its perpendicular bisector will connect the centers of the two circles. So if we draw a line from this center to this center, it will be perpendicular to this line here. Since the whole length is 12, this segment and this each will be half 12, which is 6. Now look at this triangle. We know since this angle is a right angle and this is 45 degrees, that means it is an isosceles right angle triangle. So this side and this side will be equal. Therefore, its length will also be 6 units. Now back to this triangle PQR. To calculate its area, we can use the formula 1/2 base times height. If we take this as the base, say B, the height will be a line perpendicular to the base from this vertex. Let's assume its length to be h, so base equal to B and height equal to h. Substitute it here. Now area of triangle PQR equal to 1/2 BH. What are the values of B and H? We don't know. But if you look here, this angle QPT is a right angle, and it is divided into this angle and this. If we let this be A, this must be 90 degrees minus A. From this triangle, we have this angle to be a right angle, and this is 90 degrees minus A. Based on the rule that the summation of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, this must be 180 degrees minus into bracket 90 degrees minus A. Minus into bracket 90 degrees minus A is minus 90 degrees plus A. 180 minus 90 is 0. So it is A. Now if you look at this triangle and this, both are right angle triangle and both have an angle A. That is, they are similar. But since this side, which is facing angle 90 degrees, has the same length as this side also facing angle 90 degrees, that means the two triangles are congruent. So therefore, this side facing angle A will also be congruent with this side also facing angle A. Since this side is 6 units in length, this must also be 6 units. Now here, we extend this line until it meets a perpendicular to this line. So this angle is a right angle. If you look at this quadrilateral, since this angle, this and this are right angles, this must also be a right angle. Focus on this triangle. Since it is a right angle triangle, we also assume a circle around this point and this point, where this will be the center. Now this circle and the big circle are intersecting at 2 points. Based on the rule we mentioned earlier, the centers, which is this point and this, will lie on the perpendicular bisector of this chord here. Since the chord is bisected and we have its length to be 8√2, this segment and this each will be half 8√2, which is 4√2. Now back to the triangle. Since it is a right angle triangle and we see this line bisect this side, therefore it is a median of the triangle. It is perpendicular to the side it bisects. Therefore, the triangle is an isosceles triangle. The perpendicular sides are congruent, that is, this and this. So if we let this be y, this must also be y. From the triangle, if you use the Pythagorean theorem, the square of this 8√2 must be equal to sum of the squares of this y and this y. So 8√2 all squared equal to y squared plus y squared. 8√2 all squared is 64 times 2. Y squared plus y squared is 2y squared. This 2 cancels this 2. So 64 equal to y squared. Take the square root of both sides. Here square root of y squared is y, while here square root of 64 is 8. So y equal to 8. That is, the length of this side and this is 8 each. Now look at this quadrilateral. Since all 4 of its angles are right angles, that means it is a right angle. Opposite sides of a rectangle are equal in length. That is, this side and this are congruent, and this are also congruent. Since this is 8 units in length, and this is divided into two segments, one of which is 6 units. This will be 8 minus 6, which is 2. And since this is h, while this is divided into this 8 and this 6, h equal to 8 plus 6, which is 14. Here, b is the sum of this 6 and this 2, which is 8. So b equal to 8 and h equal to 14. Substitute it here. 1 over 2 times 8 is 4. 4 times 14 is 56. So area of triangle PQR, which we are asked to calculate, is 56 square units. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, like, share and comment, and also turn on notifications. Thank you.